Hello. I'm jumping on live today with Miss D Pope, so I'm waiting for her to ask me to join in. Hey. Hi, Tanya. Hey, D. I see you on. Hold on. D, you could just bring me on your live. There.
There you go.
Hey, D.
Hey, how we doing?
Good on this Sunday.
I know, right? 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 You
Good.
know, I got a little football action in.
I know. They watching our football. I'm like, well, let me go over here and jump on this live real quick.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Other than that, how's everything been going for you?
It's going good. You
Okay,
being an entrepreneur ain't never a dull moment. We like
got you.
trying to get everything all squared away and things like that. Um, okay, let me see. I see we have some people on, so let's get started because I know it is Sunday and people trying to
Got
get
you.
the game,
Got you.
but we
Well,
come and show them some game.
got you. Got you. Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Look,
Right.
it's been a minute. It's been a long time coming. To your extended fan base and definitely to mine. My name is Dee, and I am a tax lien investor. I've been investing in tax liens probably going on a little bit about 5 years now. And my journey with tax lien investing, I actually fell upon it. I started off investing in real estate, the off market way, finding a real estate agent and
Mm-hmm.
finding those off property, those properties that weren't in the market, for a reduced price. And, I had a very bad experience, in that process. And, part of that experience was I didn't know about, business credit. And so basically what wound up happening is that as I'm doing my fix and flips, I'm getting hard money lending. I'm not, I started falling behind and it started affecting my personal credit because I started taking out debt, credit card debt. I mean, taking out credit cards against my personal name, really didn't know how to leverage it, even though I had LLCs established.
Right.
So, just that lack of education, it wasn't there. And so I went from an 800 score all the way down to a 526 or 23. And then with that though, I had 4 credit cards. I had one I had for like almost 16, 18 years. And I
Mm-hmm.
started putting money on the credit cards to pay for, properties that I'm flipping and, just making bad decisions, trying to, robbing Peter to pay Paul. And so what wound up happening is that in the 2016, it was like, okay, you're done with fixing and flipping. It's some things that you need to understand that you don't have the knowledge in when it comes to leveraging your personal credit. So
Right.
I really took a break from fixing and flipping. And in 2018, in the beginning of 2018, I just happened to stumble upon tax liens. I went out to Louisiana to visit my family, and some guy, he was telling me that he was winning, or he was buying up the block, and he was buying up the block in Louisiana through tax lien certificates. And I'm saying, okay, why don't you give me some game on that? And he was like, yeah, for sure. So I kept calling him and calling him once I made it back to Atlanta. And it was like this guy was ghost. And so I said, well, let me dive into, tax liens a little bit further. And so I did that. And, I wound up finding a course. My tax lien journey in 2018, really started to propel. But there was still a missing component. So my credit's damaged. And the only thing that I could do at the time was using my personal cash in my mindset because I didn't know.
Right.
So here I am, you know, using my personal cash. You know, hard money lenders are like, hey, you got to have a certain credit score. And, you know, despite the fact that you're coming in with 20%, you know, it's nothing you could do. But obviously, tax lien investing doesn't fall into that arena. And so once I started to understand, I needed to really focus on my personal credit. It wasn't until about, 2 years ago that I understood business credit, because my mentor was like, when your personal credit isn't in position, you need to build business credit.
Right.
And so I'm saying, okay, you know, how do you do this? And then obviously, you know, she taught, you know, how to, you know, build business credit. And so once I started building my business credit, again, while working on my personal credit, I realized that, all right, here I am in the tax lien world. I'm buying properties with cash, and then I come across some counties that were having tax sales, and they were like, I'm reading the policies, and they were like, or the rules. It was like, yeah, you can use credit cards to, you know, get into winning some of these properties. So I said, look, let me try to understand this. So I will make a phone call, and I said, okay, I want to be able to go to bid on your online auction. You know, what's my form of payment? They were like, well, here you have to put down $2,500 to reserve it. And the only form of payment that you can reserve with is a credit card. And I said, well, I can use my business credit card. And they was like, yeah, you can use your business credit card. And then so from there, once I understood that and I started using my business credit card, I took it a step further, which was simultaneously, you know, I do tax lien consulting. So I would have some of the folks that I would consult with, and they were almost in the same predicament I was a few years ago, with not being able to leverage their personal credit, not having family and friends who they could go get money from or borrow money from to invest in, not having a 401k or an IRA that they can convert into a self-directed IRA. One thing they had, which was powerful, that they didn't know, was an LLC.
Right.
And from there, it started the journey. And I'm like, okay, we need to get you in position. And so I had several of the individuals I was consulting couldn't really go forward. So I said, you know what? Let me start doing some lives and really hitting home about getting your personal credit. And then I said, you know what? Let me hit up my homegirl, because I know she talks business credit. So, you know, I came to you.
Right.
And I'm telling these people, you know, don't let your personal credit or don't let not knowing about business credit be a deterrent from you not buying tax liens.
Right.
Thus, you know,
right.
I got you.
Yeah. Well, that's good, because I'm constantly learning from you as well, as far as tax liens. And for those are following that's not following me, my name is Kima. I am a credit repair consultant. I work with clients building business credit, and I also assist them with business funding. He said a lot of people make the mistake due to lack of education. Let's get this clear. People been doing this all along. It's like now we're just getting hip to it, right? So everyone thinks soon as they form an LLC, they automatically have a business, right? And they think they could get funding. Oh, I got an LLC, I need to get 10,000. Well, it's more to it than, you know, structuring your business. So to, you know, those that's following, I wanted to go over certain things that lenders are looking for. It's more to it than just the LLC. So first, gotta have the LLC. And even when you starting to think of a name of your LLC, I would say let's look into different, let's stay away from those high risk names, right? As far as trucking or real estate and et cetera, things like that. Yes, you can get funding, but lenders tend to see that as a high risk field. So it's best that you just say something like Kima Consult, you
Yeah.
know, services or Kima Marketing. And then you will go to the Secretary of State, see if that name is available. Now, there is on our team that can get you, you know, your LLC all set up for you, search to see if it's available, process your EIN number, and, you know, all the documents you need to bring to the bank. So the first step is let's get that business name, right? Then after that, I would say focus on your address.
Yeah.
Yes, you can use your home address, but if you notice when you go to the Secretary of State, that's public information. So God forbid you have a client that's, you know, not your
Yeah.
home there. So I will go to make sure that your business is looking as professional as possible. Right. So I would say go to maybe Regis or iPostal and just pay a monthly fee to get a virtual address. But
Yeah.
what I, because I know some offices here in Atlanta, just right up there, they have suites. Just pay them $50 a month. They'll let you just use them for, you know, a mailbox. So you have to get your address as far as phone number, right? Let's make it, everyone has a phone these days, but let's go a little step further to make it look really nice to these listeners. You can go and get you a 1-800 number from Freedom Voice, little next to nothing monthly. You can go do that. You could go to GoDaddy to get you an email. Don't get me wrong, you can get funding with a Gmail, but I will go make sure our business looking legit and making sure that when these lenders are pulling up our LLC, that they say, oh, this person is legit. You know, they got the name, they got the address, they got the email. We even gonna go as far as website. You do not have to spend all of this money on websites. You can go to GoDaddy. Just start off with, you know, GoDaddy has specials that you can link a business email with a landing page for under $50.
Yeah.
So this is all things that we're putting in place before we start you get into the business credit. Then I'm saying your name, get your address, get the phone number, all of that. And then, you know, you go get your EIN information. You get
Yeah.
that IRS, but you're going to make sure everything is stated the same on each document. Like
Yeah.
you're not 1,000 Parkway and the other document saying 1,000 Overlake Avenue. You know, things like that. We're going to make sure everything is uniformed. So you're going to go and then you're going to get your DUNS number. You go on dnb.com, get your DUNS number, and you all of your information for that. Then you're gonna list your business
Yeah.
on one, right? So that's what yourself.net. You're gonna
Yeah.
make sure when these lenders are Googling, they see you are legit. So
Yeah.
we take it further. So now that you have all of this information, now we're gonna go to the bank and we're gonna open up a business bank account, right? We're not using no personal name because when we fill out these applications, we want to make sure everything is legit. So now let's do a recap. We have the business structure. We have the business. We have the business address. We have the email. We have the website / landing page, phone number. We have the EIN. We have the done. We done list our business 411. And then I'm going to say, go now to nav.com because that's how you will be seeing your business credit scores, right? So the difference between the personal and the business is the personal will report to TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Now on the business side, they're reporting, Duns and Bradstreet is reporting Equifax and Experian. Now on the personal side, your credit score will range up to 850. But the way the business reported, it ranged from 0 to 100. So people could say like, oh, okay, so if you have an 80, a 80 is considered good.
Yeah.
Basically, it's time
Yeah.
for business credit. So you have to, educate yourself on things like that. So after we had the nav.com, right? Now I'm going to say, let's go after these trade accounts, which people may consider them as vendors,
Yeah.
right? So vendors basically giving you the merchandise and form of repayment. So you will have a certain amount of time to pay, the vendors back.
Yeah.
That's important. So you see how on the personal side, they will report, say, your utilization and things like that. But on the business, they're reporting how long it took you to basically pay them back,
Yeah.
right? So you're going to start at a tier one, and the tier one will have things like Uline and grain, and then you wait for them to report, right?
Yeah.
Then after you wait for now you move on to the next tier, which is tier two. Then you can have things like Home Depot or, Amazon, and the same time generating business credit. You
Yeah.
check that on nav.com. You'll get an alert, things like that. But there is a way that you can start having business credit reporting without going through the vendors with nav.com boost, and it's something called Ecredible. I don't know.
Okay. I ain't heard of that. Break that down for me.
So what Ecredible basically it is you basically pay a monthly fee, and they will report as if you are purchasing a trade line from them. So it's as low as what, $9.95. They have a package as low as $9.95. But they report, Ecredible reports to Duns and Bradstreet, and they report to so that's only $9.95. Nav.com, they have a boost package that you can pay them $39.99, and they will, excuse me, and they will act like, you have a trade line for them. That's
Yeah.
if you want to go the traditional way of purchasing merchandise or supplies or, things like that. There's ways that you can get around that. But yeah, that's a really, because with that one, they also, not only can you pay a monthly fee for them to report, if you have, say, a telephone in your business name, or if you have a lease that you're paying, in your business name, you can link that to your Ecredible account. And once they verify it, they'll start reporting your history.
You
So,
see what I'm talking
yeah,
about? Education is just
yeah,
so key.
yeah. And that one, that's ECREDABLE.com. And that's a pretty good one. But so many of us are sitting over here with, say, we paying rent. You can have your utility reported, your water bill reported, anything that's in your business link, they allow you to link it over. Um, but once you start setting your business up straight, getting these trade lines reporting, and once you go onto nav.com, when I tell you nav is the bomb, because you can basically tell nav what you're looking for. You can go as deep as linking your personal information to nav, your
Yeah.
annual revenue to nav, and they
Yeah.
will shoot you offers,
Yeah.
because tell the system, I'm looking for debit cards or I'm looking for lines of credit. They would take your information and say, oh, okay, I see you're eligible for this and you're eligible for that. You can pre-qualify for this, that, or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a good one. And what people need to understand, because I hear a lot of things about, you know, they just want to deal with business credit.
Yeah.
It's fine with dealing with business credit, but let's not forget about personal,
Yeah.
because you can have business credit But why not put yourself in position just in case that lender is asking you to be a personal guarantor for that loan?
Yeah.
You why when you have good credit, and we're not going to go too deep into funding, but you have good credit, you don't have to have a bunch of money sitting in the bank in order to qualify for the funding, right? Because they're looking at you like, oh, okay, you got a 750, then yeah, we can give you this money. But if you have a 500 credit score and you have the business credit, now they're going to start asking for your financials. Now they're going to go deep into, okay, show me where the money is coming monthly and things like that. So it's fine that people want to solely use their EIN versus their security number, but let's not forget about personal. You can work on both at the same time,
Yeah.
and then once you, like you said, you get those credit cards, you find property for $10,000 and you got a business credit card, you could buy a house with a credit with
Yeah.
like on your 0% interest rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's ridiculous because
Yeah.
we're not applying for anything unless we got a plan. So we
Yeah.
want, you know.
And to caveat on what you just mentioned, like I said, I used a business credit card, 0% interest, in this past September's auction for one of the counties I was bidding on. And the policy was, again, I had to put up $2,500. Chase would be the company that you had to make the payment to. So they reserved the $2,500 on that credit card, their business credit card. Then starts the bidding process. So this particular county opened up the tax sale auction, and they say, hey, beginning September the 2nd through the 14th, that's your window to bid. And keep in mind, you had to reserve by using a credit card. Now, yes, you're absolutely right. You could use a business credit card, or you could use, personal credit card. Obviously, we understand that when you leverage, when your credit is in position, you can definitely, really leverage your personal credit to get more personal funding and business funding on that side. And again, I know that's a conversation I'll have another day as far as that funding, but just to let you know, you can use a personal credit card or a business credit card, depending on that county's rules and regulation. You can buy a house, because what wound up happening, I didn't have anybody bid against me in September for this 3-bedroom, 1-bath house that sits on a basement for $5,500. So once the auction was over with, the county sent me a notification, and they said, hey, Chase, you send a remaining balance to Chase. Keep in mind, they reserved $2,500. I just had to pay the balance, and there I got a house on a credit card for $5,500. And so I'm going up there this coming week. So I'm gonna do a live to talk about that, to reinforce. So you absolutely right. Getting your business established, to get business credit, while you're working on your personal credit, is just so monumental. So yeah, you set them up for success now, and then you drop some more gems. Like to be honest with you, I'm gonna have to get with you afterwards, because for the past couple of years, I've been paying leasing an office, because I do government contracts. So I've been leasing an office, and I'm like, what you just say that,
Yeah. Yeah, you should, like how they have the site where, renters could go back and report
Yeah.
their rent history.
Yeah.
If they can verify that it's a business name and things like that, yes, you go ahead and get that credit. So another, trade line that could be reported, because the more that's reporting, it looks good, on paper. But I did want to ask you, so do you help individuals get tax lien properties only in Georgia or just any state?
No. I consult with people from really from anywhere, and I don't narrow it down to just one particular state. One thing I am is I'm almost like a sponge. Once you give me the basic information about any type of process, I'm gonna run with that. So, you know, I started off learning about tax liens here in Georgia, and Georgia is a redeemable tax deed state. And so I said, you know, the process is a little bit too long because with my business model, you know, I need to not wait a year and a half to get that property. I need to find a state based on my business model where I can begin bringing in some residual income a little bit quicker than a year. And so I understood that when people say tax liens, they always say tax liens, and every particular state is different. So Georgia is a redeemable tax deed state, you know, which means basically they have a penalty rate and they have a certain length of time that you have to wait and sit on that property because they want to give the owner an opportunity to come and redeem that property. You take a state like, you know, I'm a big fan of tax deed states because the wait period is shorter. So, you know, obviously for me, I'm investing in Michigan right now. So I was in their tax sale, you know, this past September, and less than 30 days, I got a deed. And so I have a quick claim deed. So I have ownership in the property, but what I didn't realize, and that's the reason why I am very, I'm an advocate when I'm doing my consultation, is that you have money. You need additional money. And so I realized that there were some impediments with some of the people that were actually, you know, I'm consulting with, you know, and they didn't have money to get across that finish line. So I'm saying, okay, you know, what's the problem? So some people, they're challenged on the personal credit side. And then some people, they're challenged on the business, you know, business credit side. So I'm saying, okay, I got to make sure that, you know, I connect you with the resources that I'm aware of and connect you with them to help you get across that finish line. And so, yeah, I have a consultation business where I do one-on-one, and we cover whatever state and whatever county really that you want to focus on, and we dive into that particular county. And just to share something with you right quick, you know, there was one individual I was consulting with, and they were out in the state of Ohio. Now, Ohio, you know, I thought was a purely tax deed state. And I came across a county, and I'm like, this looked like it's a tax lien certificate state. And I didn't talk about that. Tax lien certificate states are states where you bid down. So let's just say, you know, the interest rate on a tax deed, let's just say a house is being tax auctioned for $1,000. In a tax lien certificate state, you know, they're going to say, hey, we got an interest rate. And if the interest rate starts off at 12%, which investor is going to take the lowest interest rate? And so that interest rate can start off at 12% and go all the way down to 0%. So who's going to take the lowest rate? So I'm sitting here thinking this particular county in Ohio was a tax lien certificate, because some states are dual. And I'm sitting here working with the client, and she's giving me some information. I'm saying, you know what, fuck this. Let me just call the county. So I wound up calling the county, and they were like giving me the runaround. So I was like, yo, we got to put a pause on this. We need to speak the same language. And so when we started speaking the same language, she was like, oh, you need to call this person. And when I spoke with that person, they was like, no, that's a tax deed. This is a tax deed county. And again, for me, that was just so paramount as I'm consulting with this person, because now they knew that, oh, I'm not in position to get ready to bid because, you know, I can't leverage my personal credit. I don't have a choice but to build up my business credit, because it looks like I could do that process a little bit quicker. And so it leads me to ask you the question of, you know, people always talk net 30, net 60, net 90. If you are in position on your personal credit, you know, you have a great profile, it's not really strong, and you get your business will start getting, these offers from Chase Business Inc. For, $10,000 or whatever.
Right.
My question for you, people say, do I need to do the net 30, 60, 90 process and disregard the card that Chase is sending me? Or can I just forget that process and just go ahead and use that business credit card to begin to leverage my business or establish my business credit?
And I'm glad you said that, because what I did want, first, it depends on the person, right? I would recommend net 30 because I'm assuming this person
Yeah.
wants to pick up and build the business
Yeah.
credit, right?
Yeah.
But before you take these cards, you need to verify if they even reporting. Not all cards report. You need to make sure before you take those cards, are you reporting to Duns and Brad or Equifax or Experian. I would say go to the net 30. If
Yeah.
they have a business credit card and they see property out there, go ahead and purchase property
Yeah.
with the card, because obviously you're making that purchase in hopes of, this property making you money where you'll be able to pay that card back. But if you have business, go business versus person. We're gonna try to keep our money to ourselves. But if it's in position and you have a $30,000 credit card and the house only costs 10, buy the house with the
Yeah.
card. And
Yeah.
if rehab costs more, right? You're
Yeah.
in position, so you could go ahead and get a card to pay
Yeah.
rehab. So it's basically using other people's money to make you money. You
Yeah.
pay back, but remember, you're not applying if it's not making sense or making money for you. So I would tell that person, do the net 30 and go ahead and with the card, So,
Got you. Got you. Yeah.
but
Go ahead and establish.
yeah, go ahead and establish, because that personal, I've seen so many people um come to me with a 750 on their personal, and they're getting denied for things, and they don't understand why. And it's your credit profile. I'll just recommend that, you have somebody at it. I just had somebody just try to go through business funding, and he swore up and down he met the qualification.
Yeah.
But so now I'm no longer going on your word. I'm
Yeah.
looking for it before I even go even further. And as I looked at his report, he had 12 collections. But in his defense, due to lack of education, he paid all of his collections years ago, right?
Got
But
you.
he was thinking, how are you still seeing these collections? So the person was getting denied because of those collections. It was still coming up as collections. So, oh, yeah. So bankruptcies is like automatic denials, for a lot of lenders. So that bankruptcies could be removed off your credit report. That is a process, but I would say go ahead and start the process so you can be in position when it's time to purchase. Um, so how do I go about doing the net 30? So first, I get your business structure in line first. Once that's in line first, then you move on to the paid accounts, which is like your vendors. You're going to start with the first tier. And I also have an ebook. If you click the link in my bio, it's Black Friday. I put it on sale for $37. So the ebook is basically going to explain to you how you structure your business, how to set up at 30s account, and it has over 40 vendors, and it's broken down into the different tiers. So click the link in my bio and you can get that ebook. Um, How soon can you open a business account and credit? So when you saying business account, I don't know if you mean a business banking account, but I'm just gonna that. So you will set up your business the proper way. Once you get your documentation, take to the bank, you set up, you know, you go to the bank and you set it up. I recommend go to a bank that you are banking with because you have a relationship with them. If not, other banks that you can go to set it up. Now, you sit with these bankers, they are going to be asking you questions about your business. Don't fall into the industry type that's considered high risk.
Yeah.
You know, let's make it a broad one, like consult. They come down and ask you basically, you know, is this a real estate type company or is this a or transportation company? Just keep it very simple when you your account. So once you open that up, and I'm saying, wait, how soon can you open a business account and credit? Okay, so we just explained you're gonna set your business up the proper way. Then you're gonna start doing either the vendors or you're gonna to nav.com or Incredible and just to have people reporting to your business, and then you can start um, reporting. But let me answer this question real quick, D. Say
Okay.
you started your business and you just got your bank account and you just tier one or tier two. If you don't have personal credit, I mean personal good credit, they are going to be looking at what's in your bank account. Do not think as soon as you know start generating a score that you're going to have access to all of this money. You are either going to need your personal credit and position, or you're going to need your bank account to reflect that you are, you know, good money. Basically, I would say a minimum. Let's just say 10,000 in your account. You know, for 90. That's you know a typical amount that the lenders will be looking at. But I ain't gonna go too deep into funding. We're gonna save that for
For another day. Yeah, for it, because you know you can go down that rabbit hole
yeah.
real quick on that one. I would share with folks as Kimma was explaining about setting up, you know, the your business account, the structure of it, you know, the right way. You know, she talked about establishing the net 30, 60, and 90. You know, I can just tell you in my journey of that process, you know, 2 years ago, I started off with Quill. You know, there was a cost associated with that. And I know as people, you know, get in this space of building credit, let's not get confused. You will have to make a financial investment.
Right.
So to get the credit, I signed up for Quill. I think I had to pay $100, and then you know 90 days, 60 or 90 days later, it started reporting to my credit, my business credit side. And so because I'm in the real estate side of the house, I went to Sherman-Williams and applied with them, and they said, "Hey, do you already have you know business credit established? Because if you don't, you know, I don't want to waste, you know, going through the process of running
Right.
your business credit." And so anyway, they wound up running it. And, you know, I got about $10,000, a line of credit of 10,000. I need Sherman-Williams because I'm a real, you know, doing real estate. So I can have my folks go to Sherman-Williams, pick up the paint, the credit, and that's good for like, gives me time for like 30 days, you
Right.
know, to keep money in my business or circulate it where I need, but making sure that I pay it on time so my business credit score don't drop.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, and even if you have, you know, the actual cash sitting in your account, like if, you know, I'm running my business, I want to purchase boxes of paper for when I'm printing my letters out, you know, different supplies. Not do you get it in like a day or two, and on top of not paying, I just turn around and just take the money that was sitting there anyway in the personal and pay that net, net 30.
Yeah.
And that looks good. So if you know your business needs supplies, you could be in a trucking business and you need straps for your
For the
load,
cargo. Yep.
things like that. Go ahead and use the net 30 just so that way they can start reporting. And then if you feel like you're in a business that you may not even need supplies, which is kind of rare, you can always find, that you can buy from them. At one point, I just turned around and bought some industrial mop that I was like,
Mm-hmm.
for my house,
Yep.
but just turn around to do something like that. But there's options out there if you don't feel you need supplies. And
Yep.
that's like, that's
Gotcha.
like, you got to spend money to make this money. And
Yep.
that's $9.99, but they're reporting at the same time. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. But when I buy products with credit cards, that took me out. I
Yeah.
was, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just again just a lack of that education. And to put it into perspective, unless you built a company and you got the finances as like Infinity, there are over 3,200 counties, the District of Columbia, DC,
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So everybody does their tax lien auction differently. And
Mm-hmm.
everybody says differently how you can actually bid, whether it's by money order, whether it's by cash, cashier's check, credit card, they break it down for you. And so one of the great things that I like about, my business credit is that I like, I'm really getting into my mentor's business, where she was like, you need to have more than one LLC. And
Right.
so it just so happens I got a few LLCs that I'm establishing business credit for. And, shortly, real soon I'll be able to do that on the personal and the business funding side. But right now, I really want to focus on, for those who are not in position on the
Right.
personal credit side, don't think that you can't get enough money, on the business credit side to get into this tax lien business.
Right.
Don't have just one LLC. I'm going to tell you that right now. I had a few LLCs with business credit. I'm pulling that cash off of those credit cards for those tax lien auctions that don't accept credit cards, but I'm pulling that money off, investing in tax liens, winning at the auctions through business credit.
That's right. You think it, you better LLC it. That's my motto. I stand by that. The minute I think of something, I say, you know what? Let me just LLC that, even if I don't have all my ducks in a row. Because when it's time to go get that funding, the more seasoned that LLC is, the more funding you will get, the more reliable you seem. So you're right. Having multiple LLCs, that was definitely some good information we learned on that. And when it was time for funding, it's like, okay, let's do one round for
Yep.
your solution. Let's do another round. But
Yep.
like, you're ready to go enterprise LLC.
Yep.
I definitely love that you are helping people learn how to, take it one step further without exhausting all of their personal funds. Like I said, I called you and like I commend you because
Yeah.
breaking it down for your clients is good. Like, hey, let's bring somebody on to attack that personal credit. Now bring somebody on to attack that business credit. And then next, we're going to go after that funding. But steps can make you money.
Yeah.
And let me just back up real quick. Because if you can get a property with your personal name, don't shy away from that. If it's making you money, use it. Like to take a loan out against your personal credit, do that. Because remember, we only applying for a reason and for a purpose. So if you need to take that loan out and get you 50,000, you're going to pay it back and it's going to show good on your personal. And now you have more money to leverage your house. So, it's all in your mindset.
So let me ask this question. Do you help people, help them with creating their LLC and establishing their business credit so I can send my folks, your way?
So I don't specialize in LLC. I have someone on our team that, specializes in the LLC. So I send them her way for the
Oh,
LLC, but I do the credit part, you know.
got you.
So
Got
yeah,
you.
I do.
Okay.
It's like a one-stop shop from the beginning all the way to the end.
Yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, I'll tell you that, as I started, the journey of consulting, probably about, like I said, about 2 years ago, that's where I I operate really on a moral compass. Yeah, I can take your money, but I'm not gonna, well, I could, but that's not within me.
Right,
And so I'm always spiritually led. And so, when I say, part of my business model is I want everybody to win, I
right,
literally do, but obviously, you have to give, 80%. I'm going to give you the 20%. But when I
right,
realized during my consultations that there was just, quite a few folks I had to turn around because morally, again, I'm not going to take your money. Yes, I can teach you the tax lien process, but if I teach you and it's like you having the knowledge, but you can't execute, and the
right,
reason why you can't execute because neither your personal credit is in position or your business credit isn't in position. So you would have paid for, this consultation with me, which isn't cheap.
right,
So I don't want you to do that.
right.
And it reminds me of like when I was flipping a house a couple of years ago, and a gentleman asked me to partner up with him. So I said, well, show me some work that you're doing. So I went on to his project, and it's here in Atlanta, and I'm going in, and the first thing I see, all the drywall is down, so it's down to the frame, and so I'm looking up, and it was a fire damaged house, and I'm thinking that I'm like, it don't look like you tearing this down. It looked like you're putting you're building around it. And he
Mhm.
was like, yeah, because I got to turn this house over quick. And
Ooh,
so I was like, at that moment, yo, I can't fuck with you. And he
right,
was like, why? I said, I work on the moral compass.
right,
I have ethics. You know what I'm
right,
saying? If I ain't gonna sweep in this shit,
right,
and I'm not gonna, have somebody else do it.
right, right,
So, I'm very passionate about, who I work with, because if you're not in position, I need to help you get in position, or at least send you to folks that can get you into position.
right.
Tax lien investing, I'm telling you, in um St. Croix, one of the US Virgin Islands, they had a 4-bedroom, 2-bath home that wasn't far from the beachfront that
Mm.
went into a tax sale for like $2,400.
Oh my gosh.
The value of that home was $449,000. I'm not gonna tell you what the winning bid was, because
I,
if I told you, you like, why haven't I been talking about tax liens from the beginning? But that's to tell you, we got to change our mindset.
yep,
Get your personal credit in position. Get your business credit in position. Get
right.
into these tax liens like yesterday.
Yep. Yep. And I want to just thank you, Dee, for allowing me to jump on, because I've been learning about these tax liens. Like, I've been like, wait, Dee, what you have said again?
Yep.
But it's definitely us educating, our people on, like you said, personal business, tax liens, ways to make this money in real estate. Real estate and transportation is like so many entities underneath it, ways to make money. People probably didn't even know about tax. Like, what is a tax lien? But they got to get their business credit and personal credit in position before.
Gotcha.
Um, I do have, before we go, I put it Black Friday. My business credit ebook is on sale now for $37. I'm breaking everything down. It's down to the structure, down to the links that you need to go to get everything started. Go vendors, over 40 vendors, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. I'm breaking that down for you. And I know you have your tax lien consultant.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate that. If you click the link in my bio and you're not quite sure about what tax liens are, I got about an hour, 10 minutes. That's all y'all need. Dedicate an hour and 10 minutes and watch that. Click the link in my bio. It's a free class in breaking down, what tax liens are. But more importantly, I have now created a 8-week coaching. It's a tax lien coaching program for 8 weeks. And, my Black Friday deal is really not going to be Black Friday, but starting tomorrow until Kwanzaa, until the end of Kwanzaa, my 8-week coaching program on tax liens is only going to be for $5.99. And it's 8 weeks. We're going to meet about an hour and a half. I'm going to break it down. And this is a little bit different because I'm not going to focus on one particular county. You have made the investment, so you're going to have to tell me what county you want to focus on, and you're going to get that individual, but it's going to be a collective session, and I'm only taking about 10 people, for this 8 weeks. But I'm going to put this already out there, but it really doesn't start until tomorrow. So, Kima, from me to you, thank you for allowing me to come on talking tax liens and asking you questions to help my audience understand the importance of building business credit and how to build business credit.
I really appreciate you, D. We're going to definitely support each other any way I could help. Just let me know. We're a team.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And you enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm going to give you a call after this, though.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good night, y'all.
Have a good one, guys.
For the comments. Thank you.